listening to the Shite Talk podcast show. Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. Mark and Ken with you on episode 220. Yeah, we forgot to do the intro. So Ken will be on very, very shortly. And we will have a full show with me and Ken. But we just forgot to do the intro. So I realised when I was doing my editing even. And yeah, so we talked today kind of about, let us see, what do we talk about? We talk about a doctor on our ideas of the week, made our ideas this week. So did the QR manager make our ideas of the week. And I also lined out ways that professions and jobs that are more likely to produce serial killers. And this is all from a guy's book who's coming out about murder in plain English. And he's a criminologist, and he delineated 12 professions that are more likely to produce serial killers than any other. Ken has a new segment as well on the show. It's called Ken's Disgusting Stories. And yeah, it is quite disgusting. And we pretty much forget to introduce it, so it's nice to be able to come now and say Ken has a new segment before you listen to it. Anyway, that's our show for you today, so we might as well get into it. No. But yeah, you know, I'm kind of flustered because I just clicked onto my record the show, and everything's moved around. Like, everything's different on it. Like, where record was, it used to be up at the top. It's now down at the bottom. And then all my ordinary things I'd use to, like you can increase the sound, so you have to click on something. And then it makes, you can adjust the sound, and you can cut stuff. And all that's down right at the bottom, right, left as well. Because I moved around before, and I kind of readjusted. And it's like, you know, this will take a little bit of, like, getting used to it, but I think in the end, when I'm used to it, I think this is going to be a much more efficient way of a layout. Now it's all different again, and it's like, I don't think I'll be happy with this layout.
Very strongly worded letter
to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Audacity.
The audacity.
The audacity to come into my old generation Audacity and use it and abuse it like you are.
Yeah, the audacity of coming into your own house and changing things around.
I had do you know what? I had one that I was really hoping it would be a legit story, and then it just fucking petered away into nothing. It was about robots that can give birth or can reproduce other robots, and I was like, we are all fucked. And I was halfway through reading the article, and like the article says, and they did it by making them look like Pac-Man. I was like, oh my god, this story's going to be the best story I've ever read. And got halfway through, and I was like, I have no idea what's happening, but I don't think this is interesting. I was like, I'm lost. I clicked into too much of a highbrow article. Yeah, and they went into too much detail. But like, I think like the whole idea of it is like there's like these things on that was like a part of some frog thing, like a tadpole thing, and like they put these beads. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really explain the story, but it was about, and then they're like, oh, well, actually, technically speaking, the definition of a robot is a useful mechanical device. And I was just like, oh. When you hear that, you're like, okay, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But, you know, like, it could be the beginning of the, whole, what's that company in Terminator that Skynet. This is it could be
Skynet.
it could be the beginning of Skynet. It mightn't be the beginning of Skynet. If it is beginning of Skynet, they're way far off. Right now they're just cleaning petri dishes or something like that. They're like, that's the thing that they create these things. They're like, okay, all we have to be able to do is make it do one useful thing.
Yeah.
And it can clean dishes. So like, I don't know how it does that. I don't know actually what it is. I couldn't possibly explain to our listeners. Maybe I'll just leave this in. Maybe I'll just leave this explanation is enough of what the story is and what I was going with here in terms of looking for my stories. But yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they'll understand.
Hopefully they'll understand and look into it and then explain it to me. That's what I'd like. If our listeners can start doing our research and then explain it to us in a simpler manner, and then we'll then regurgitate it back to them
with more fucks in it.
Yeah, we'll just a little bit like Shite Talk jizz. Because that's what everybody needs right now. It's a bit more Shite Talk jizz.
Shite Talk jizz. That needs to be on a t-shirt.
Shit jizz.
Shite jizz.
I think shit jizz would be a great t-shirt. Like, we're on hats, beanies. Do people still wear beanies?
That I don't know.
In France, or not France, Italy, everybody was wearing peak caps.
And that's because they're all fucking weird over there.
Yeah, they like their fashion and stuff.
I really don't like Italians.
Yeah. Also, I kind of like
as a whole.
Sorry,
yeah, Ghost and Jenny
and all them. As a whole, some of them pass through and be actually all right. Yeah.
You get the exception that proves the rule.
Yeah, I just don't think there's like certain parts of Ireland you just can't get away with any sense of fashion if you're a male.
You can't get away with any sense of fashion if you're Irish, full stop.
Because I remember...
if you are Irish, you have no right getting yourself into fashion.
I don't know. I was going for a coffee with our friend Gus, right? And he rocked up in a peak cap and cardigan. And I was like, you're not in Dublin now. Like, you can't be wearing this here.
You big Dublin punch.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, where do you think you're going with that peak cap and cardigan? You may take that off before you're going to that coffee shop. But like, there's like certain things like outside Dublin that you might get away. Like people go, "Oh, look at that little hipster guy," and they've paid almost no notice of it. But in a small town in Ireland, you stick out like a sore thumb.
It's like that thing. Do you ever see like stories about how people got their nicknames?
Yeah,
and you'll have like somebody will be called like Beetlejuice for like the rest of his life because when he was 6, he wore a stripy T-shirt or something.
Oh, my sisters growing up used to have the oddest friends' nicknames. And there's like one was like Lamb. I was like, how did he get nicknamed Lamb? And it was like all these weird nicknames. Yeah, because like another one of my sisters' fellas was wearing a tanned coat. You know the ones that like girls wear.
Kind of, yeah.
They're kind of like body length coats.
Yeah,
they look very respectable. Now he was wearing a male version of it, but it's still like you can't be wearing that here. I was like, it just doesn't suit you. Maybe over in Australia on a winter's day you could wear that. But,
like
that's it. That's it.
That's just something that Irish people are great at. Like just. This lad's doing something that's like fashionable. Like, what is he?
This lad has notions. This lad thinks he's better than us.
That's what it is. Like, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, they
like than this lad.
Like the fashion in Ireland's anti-fashion. It's like do not stick out from the crowd at all. It's the whole uniform mentality. That's what breeds in us. Look at this guy who's trying to be different. Where does he think he's now? Paris? Oh, fucking peacock.
Fucking peacock. Yeah, there was a while there where like young lads were going around wearing peacocks again.
Yeah, it was all the Peaky Blinder thing, I think.
Yeah,
I hadn't watched that, and you know in my phase where I had a goatee.
Yeah.
And my hair, it was slick back hair. I'd never watched Peaky Blinders, and people were like, "Oh, you look like what such and such one of the characters out of it." I was like, "Oh, is that a good thing?" And they looked at me and go, "No." I was like, "Oh, fuck." I was like, oh shit, I have to watch Peaky Blinders.
My favorite was when you were told that you look like D'Artagnan. D'Artagnan from fucking Three Musketeers.
Which one?
D'Artagnan from Three Musketeers.
I can't really remember that being said at me, or I don't have no reference of what.
That was in the old gym.
Was it? Who said it to me?
Yeah. Huh?
Who said it to me? So I can find
Marius.
it. Marius. All right. Yeah. I think I just seen one day. I seen a photo of myself with it, after training. I was just like, it was like all the light in the world has hit it, and it's just illuminated this big orange, disgusting thing. And I was like,
I thought it was all right.
Yeah. Well, thank God, because in my head for like a year, I thought it was all right. I was like, have I been? I seen that one photo, and I was like, have I been walking around looking like that for the last fucking over a year? I was like, I'm shaving this fucking thing off.
Like, I thought it was grand.
I think, yeah, it was grand. Like sometimes it was like when there isn't too much light out, it looks darker than it was. But like if I don't know, there's a certain type of light that hits it that like illuminates it, looks bright orange.
Yeah, like I have a fucking luminous orange beard.
Yeah, but you know who sometimes is less luminous orange? It's like yeah, like when it was less like bright, it was all right.
That's how you know you're Irish.
Yeah, or something like that, or have that Celtic blood in you. Yeah, anyway, we should go off notions and all this stuff. Another story that I was going to talk about was it was probably in my idiots of the week. I have two idiots of the week. We'll leave them to the last, but one is a doctor, and the other is a HR manager.
Okay.
All right. Then I have, as my other story, I have which professions you're most likely to be a serial killer. So I didn't quite get. We were talking about mayonnaise, so I didn't quite get that at the start of recording. So we'll probably talk over the whole mayonnaise thing.
Okay.
Well, I think we'll start with what do you call it? The whole professional serial killer thing. I'll probably use some of the audio going forward because we don't have. Let's face it, we don't have a lot of stories.
No, we don't.
We don't have a lot of stories today. It's good because I am pushed for time, so like a slightly shorter show might be good.
Yeah, good for everybody.
Yeah, good for everybody. So what kind of professions would you think of when you think serial killer? So do you think there should make a difference? Like, would a particular mindset of a person be attracted to a certain field?
I would think serial killer, retail worker.
Retail worker. See, that's what I would have thought. I think if you're around people too much, especially when you're dealing with like the worst, I think like almost maybe a bartender would almost have serial killer like thoughts pass through their minds every now and again.
Yeah.
Or a person who works in like a call center. A person who works in a call center, I imagine, wants to kill humanity, or at least hates humanity.
Yeah.
I always feel bad, like if I'm on a call center, because usually some shit has happened. If you're going to a call center, like you need something solved, and you have already like they make it the most like. First of all, they know most people have problems that they're dealing with. Then they put annoying music and make you wait for fucking ever. So you're already nervous going into the cutting, and now you're just pissed off at this stage. And then some fucking minimum wage fucker has to deal with you. It's like the worst. It has to be one of the worst jobs ever.
They're not always on minimum wage. Sometimes they get paid pretty decent for call centers.
Yeah, well, I can see why. Well, for what they have to deal with.
I wouldn't fucking do it though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it either. So there's a criminologist professor called Michael Arnfield, and he lays out 12 professions that are more likely to attract serial killers.
Yeah.
And he's labeled them into like semi-skilled, skilled, unskilled, and professionals. And many offenders were actually in several of these roles at once. So, or at one time in their career. So, for example, the man who is believed behind the whole Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
He was a police officer. He's worked in the military, and he also did warehouse working.
I can see maybe people in the military being serial killers.
Yeah, if you're at war, yeah, you might get desensitized to violence. Maybe you were a little bit too close to a blast, got some kind of like concussion. They do say like head trauma can be released. People be more, kind of like do off the cuff things without thinking about it. Like you often see like fighters or football stars act irrationally after like a few careers. Like Mike Tyson would probably be a good example. John Jones being another one.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor as well. He kind of does like off the cuff irrational stuff. A lot of NFL players beating their wives, that kind of thing. That could be a number of different things. Not saying it's all head trauma, but like
sometimes it's just being an asshole.
Yeah, sometimes they're just fucking assholes. But like that's what they're kind of. That's why I maybe I'm close police officers, especially in the US, where I'm managing a lot of them are suffering from PTSD.
Yeah.
Another one that I would throw into there would be like ambulance workers. Surely ambulances, because they see dead bodies all the time.
Pretty desensitized to dead bodies, all right.
Yeah, like don't you? Because I think for fire brigade, you have to go like watch some eye surgery or something like that. There's some kind of like test to make sure you can cope with seeing horrific things.
Although I remember when my sister was training to be a paramedic, they told them under no circumstances are you to take in your ambulance are you to take a dead body. You never put a dead body into an ambulance.
Only into a hearse. What if a person on the way to hospital is about to die? Do you just go, okay, we're not putting that in there because that breaks rule number one?
So it's really fucked up. It's to keep the death rate in the ambulance as low as possible. So they won't take a dead body because the person who picks the body is the one that caused the death.
Yeah.
So if a paramedic picks it up, they have to say this person's dead, and then they're like, oh look, they died. It's counted as being in your ambulance. So if they die on the way to the hospital, the paramedics won't call it. That's why they keep working on them. They'll keep doing CPR.
Yeah.
Until they get to the hospital and let the doctor call it in the hospital.
Oh, all right. So kind of pass the blame. Imagine you're like they ring the call and they're like, oh, I wouldn't go into that one because by the time you get there, it'd be like the person would be nearly dead. So if you've been put in the ambulance,
yeah,
like maybe just go a little bit, circle the block a few times.
Yeah, like because I was like, that's a bit fucked up. Like my sister's like, yeah, like they get reviewed every year to see how how many people are actually helping.
Yeah,
they don't take dead bodies and they just keep pretending that a dead body is alive until they get to a hospital.
Oh, just keep the heart going. So I keep zapping it so there's a little bit of pulse there. So he's like, it's your problem now.
Yeah, bye.
That's why they're so in such a hurry once they get to the hospital. They're like,
that's
through those doors. Yeah, fucking into those doors. Imagine the doctors had the same fucking kind of like thought process. Where like, you fucking keep that thing out here.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Yeah, you fucking locks the doors.
I'm going to my break time.
Yeah, ambulance driver banging on the. Yeah, well, good thing we're not living in that society. Yeah, but you might think like, what a fucked rule for ambulance drivers. You also might think, what exactly are the characteristics that serial killers look for in terms of trying to find a career path? Because like it's not a paying gig. You kind of have to support your wages while you're like pursuing this odd hobby.
Yeah.
So he kind of lays out in his new book, Murder in Plain English, which is a weird title for a book. I thought it was going to be Murder in Plain Sight, and I was like, oh, cool, edgy title, but Murder in Plain English. I guess it is just basically what murderers look for. I don't know. The book is out in case you want to buy it for stock and filler. But it's a combination of mobility, power, and the fact that many of these jobs simulate or satisfy the undying paraphilia? I don't know. Too many long words there. Basically, they get aroused by some part of their job in these things. That's what I'm taking from this. And that's what attracts them. So they're getting kind of it's like a mini rush from these jobs. But some of them are very mundane. You wouldn't think, oh well, I don't know what kind of sexual rush they're getting from that.
Right, what are the jobs?
So I think this one didn't have a title, but I think it's semi-skilled jobs. Or very skilled jobs, actually, now I look at it, is aircraft maintenance or assembly. Okay. Yeah. Then you have what?
I know a guy who does aircraft maintenance, and it wouldn't surprise you if he's serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. Keep an eye on him. Then there's a shoemaker or repair person, and I can kind of see it now.
Cobbler.
A cobbler, yeah. I can kind of see a cobbler being a serial killer now. Now that he's said it.
That's pointed out.
Yeah, now that's pointed out to me. I will not get my shoes repaired. I'll buy new shoes from now on. I'll continue to buy new shoes. I've never done that. I'll wait till they go out of business. Maybe that's why they kill people. They're slowly going out of business. It's only old ladies that come in to get their shoes repaired.
And then they're all dying.
Yeah, and then the other one is automobile upholsterer, which is I think it's very specific. I know all these are kind of specific. It seems like
say it again. What was it?
An automobile, so a person who works upholsterer. You know, a person who maybe I don't know. Does he put down carpet or
automobile? It's a fucking car upholstery.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, an automobile is a car.
I thought it was meant automobile in terms of he'd be on the road. So he'd be on the road upholstering things. That's what I took from that. All right.
car upholsterer.
I guess he can get rid of a car upholstery because all the blood now.
Yeah, or you could just do something dodgy with the car that all the fumes come in and kill everyone.
Yeah, so semi-skilled is forestry, which I couldn't really see. Fair enough, so you're cutting down things.
I could see that.
Yeah?
Yeah, what better way to cover your tracks?
Another one was was a truck driver. Was another one. I can't really see truck drivers
in America. Yeah,
in America,
I could see that in America. Yeah.
Yeah, not in Ireland. I couldn't. I think all truck drivers are a little bit incompetent. Too incompetent to be serial killers. To be honest with you.
I'll tell Aiden's dad he said that.
I guess they have a good idea of where they would store. They're driving around, they know if I am getting rid of a body, I know a road that no one goes to, and they have a vehicle to put it in that can keep cold.
Well, not all of them keep cold.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so. Then you have a warehouse manager, Ken.
Well, I don't manage a warehouse.
I know, but probably know warehouse manager. I probably know warehouse manager. But warehouse manager, which once again they kind of just wander around doing nothing all day. That's their whole job, is to make it look like they're doing shit, and it's just oh yeah, you load that truck there, or stack those shelves. They just make sure everyone else does their job. It's not key warehouse managing job and making sure things go out in time. The next one is unskilled kind of people. So you have general labor, which is very vast. I could be considered general labor, or a person laying down floor can be considered general labor.
You try to say you're a serial killer?
Something like that. A hotel porter.
Yeah, I could see that.
What is a hotel porter for the lesson in?
What is a hotel porter?
Yeah, is that like a person who fixes the? Is that what a porter is?
They're like the person who like brings the bags up and down to your room, and
yeah.
If you like call somebody, if you're like, "Oh, my fucking TV's broke," the porter will come up and have a look at it first.
Yeah.
Before send maintenance.
Was that? Remember that girl from the north that died over on holidays when she went back for the biscuit? Probably a hotel porter.
She went back for the biscuit?
Yeah. It was a few years ago. Good few years ago.
What?
Yeah, she fucking... she was like I think she might be in a Rosa Tralee person. Her husband or her husband-to-be, they were just married. And he was like some GAA player, I think. And she went back to her room to get rich tea biscuits.
Was she the daughter of some GA manager?
Yeah, I think so. Because I remember I think the president was, and the Irish government wasn't happy with the investigation and sent over to Gardaí to be doubly unhappy with the investigation.
I remember she died. I didn't remember there being biscuits involved.
Yeah, she he had said the husband had said that like she had went back because she wanted to get rich tea biscuits out because she brought them with her. And I think she like interrupted people breaking into her room and they killed her.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then we're on to professionals. So like we can probably claim maybe a hotel, according to this study, maybe the hotel porter had something to do with a murder. Professionals, what do you think professionals are? We touched on at least two.
I would say if there's not like a dentist or a doctor in it, I would be shocked.
There isn't.
Oh.
So we touched on two. They call police officers. They call them a professional, so they're one. A military person is two. So there's another professional, which once again I think they're definitely clutching at straws with the whole fucking professional thing here.
Right, go on.
It's religious professionals, Ken.
What the fuck is a religious professional?
Oh, sorry. Religious official.
Religious official?
Yeah, no, like a priest.
Yeah, this wouldn't surprise me.
Or a preacher.
This does not surprise me.
Why does it not surprise you?
Remember that a couple of years ago they found 850 babies in a fucking septic tank run by nuns.
That is true.
This does not surprise me.
Exactly. Out of every profession on this list, that should be the most obvious one, is what you're saying.
That is exactly what I'm saying. That one is very obvious.
Yeah, so it ticks all the boxes of like, it's highly mobile, while giving them some like underlying satisfaction.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. The old religious orders killing people. Plus the whole Crusades thing.
What do you mean the Crusade? Oh yeah, well, serial killers just murdering people because they're different.
Yeah, that's basically what the Crusades was.
Yeah.
Murdering people because they're different.
A little bit different. Create an ideology behind it. And then like you have like, I don't know if he like separates between serial killers and mass murderers or terrorists. Like, so like, I don't know if he calls them serial killers.
Who? Like mass
Terrorists.
murderers?
Yeah, well, terrorists. People who kill for religious beliefs.
That'd be more of a mass murder.
Yeah, I wonder how do you define things? Because surely if you kill more than, like, I wonder how many people you have to kill to become a serial killer.
3.
3 is the limit. Okay, so if you kill more than 3, and I wonder if there's like a religious intent behind it, like you're doing something because some fucked ideology. Is that a serial killer, or is that following something different?
That's a serial killer who is also a religious fanatic.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll come onto our podcast and he can talk to us more in detail about this. We can just throw our stupid questions at him.
Well, do you know what the difference between a serial killer and a mass murderer is?
No. 4?
a mass murderer does it all at once, but a serial killer does it like 1 by 1 or 2 by 2 or whatever. They don't do like a mass murderer will go out and just like kill 10 people all at once, like with a bomb or something.
All right, so like yeah,
like a serial killer will like kill like 10 people over the space of a year.
Yeah, like a mass murderer is kind of he's like tripped the switch and he's like everyone's going to pay for it now.
Yeah.
Whereas like a serial killer is kind of getting some kind of sick enjoyment out of like trying to be found and like hunting the prey or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah. Would you be one for crime documentaries?
Yes.
That does not surprise. Yeah, I think everyone is, especially Netflix just shoves them down your neck.
Do you have a favorite serial killer?
No, I don't. I don't have a favorite serial killer.
Yeah. No, me either.
Is that a trick question?
That is a trick question.
Because if you answer yes, I do like Ted Bundy. I was kind of thinking there, I was like, oh, maybe I should have a favorite serial killer. I was trying to think, I was like, which like serial killer do I most identify with? I was like, oh, I just can't think.
Yeah, Bundy's my favorite.
Because like, yeah, Ted Bundy. Why Ted Bundy though?
It's just because he was fucking a bit mental. I know they're all a bit mental, but just like, I don't know, Bundy is just mad.
Yeah, like I don't really know too like I do watch those crime documentaries. I don't really follow too heavily along to be like, oh, that guy did it really well.
You know, Bundy. I'd watch anything that is Ted Bundy related. I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, I'll have a long, hard think about it over the week, and I will. I'll come back to you. I'll have a solid answer. I'll talk to amongst friends, and maybe we can all collectively come to agreement what my favorite serial killer should be. Yeah,
John Wayne Gacy's another one, but he's a bit fucked up.
Yeah, why do you think he's a bit fucked?
Like he used to dress in a clown suit, and I think he used to molest children.
Oh yeah, that is a bit fucked. Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't think offhand anyway. I'm gonna have to think about this long hard.
Watch a few serial killer documentaries and then watch the Bundy tapes if you've never watched that.
Yeah, I will. I'll watch the Bundy tape.
It's on Netflix. It's really good.
Yeah, and since we didn't get to really, we kind of cut in halfway through us talking about your mayonnaise story. And since it's your only story, we might as well go back over and we'll get the full story from the start.
Yeah, so they're bringing out well, first of all, do you like mayonnaise?
I do like mayonnaise. Who doesn't like mayonnaise?
I don't like mayonnaise.
What?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And you don't like orange chocolate? This I ruined the story, but this must be your like worst thing on the planet.
Yeah, that's why it's in Ken's disgusting thing of the week.
Oh yeah, we have a new segment, brand new. We've done this story arse way. We've told you the headline, then told you the finale, and then said, "Hey, we also have a new segment." So this is Ken's disgusting thing of the week.
Yes.
If you catch on, we'll have like thing goes ew, and then like I'm pretty sure it's in the song. I can just create that from.
Yeah. So you like mayonnaise?
I do like mayonnaise.
You like
Terry chocolate orange.
Terry chocolate.
Or all orange chocolate.
Yeah, so they are going to release a Terry's chocolate orange mayonnaise.
That is
just in time for Christmas, Mark.
Yeah. Like I do like both. I don't know if I like them together.
No, there you go.
And
that's just like pure misery for me.
That must be pure misery for you, actually. You must be like horrified at the whole concept.
Like it's just fucking disgusting.
Like who's bringing out this Terry's or orange chocolate? Is there a combination of companies that we all can be a part of that?
I think it must be. I think it's Hellman's and Terry's in like collusion.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think. I think this might be just some viral advertisement. Like no one's going to buy it, everyone's going to talk about it, and people are just going to be like, you know, this is disgusting, but their name's going to be literally in our mouths. We're going to be in their mouths.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things. Like, it's probably just going to be a limited release thing for Christmas, and they're going to just be like, "Here, look." Everybody buys it, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's fucking disgusting." And they're like,
everyone,
"Ha ha ha ha."
everyone will like, I have to try it, and the answer is no, you don't.
Yeah, and they're like, "We made loads of money." Ha 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 ha.
And if not, at least people are talking about cherry chocolate orange, and they'll see one or they see mayonnaise and go, "Hey, I need this."
Yeah.
So yeah, that is really weird. Another thing that I was going to say about this is it going to be out in time for Christmas?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know exactly when, but it's been released for Christmas.
Well, it's known by it. That it really just saying Ken, that was very, very disgusting. Very apt named. So, okay, with that covered, it's now time for our Idiots of the Week.
This will be good.
So, this is part of the show, created for idiots, by idiots, and it's basically where we talk about people doing really dumb things. And it's a doctor who's made our list, and we also have a HR manager has also made our list.
So we're very intrigued.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with the doctor. So, a famous TikTok doctor has been banned from performing surgery for putting said TikTok videos up on fucking online.
Yeah.
And Ken,
as you do, like,
where do you think this doctor is from?
I'm going to say he's from Ireland.
Nope. Take another guess. He isn't from Ireland.
He must be from America or the UK.
No, you have to check your reasoning is biased. He's actually from Australia. Australia
of course he is.
He's called Dr. Daniel, and he was banned from surgery by the AHPRA,
which is
yeah, it's an anagram of whatever their HSC is. I take it.
Yeah.
So he's Dr. Daniel Aronov, and he's been banned from surgery. And there was like a kind of a whole investigation by several different media members who kind of combine efforts to look at services that he worked in that were like complaints over, I think maybe hygiene and a few other different things. And well, I guess one of the more unhygienic things they can bring into surgery is probably your fucking mobile phone, especially when you're trying to TikTok.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the best.
Yeah, so like he's been banned from doing surgery, but he can continue as a primary care physician if once he's overseen by that long word, the AHP or A approved supervisor. So he can continue as a doctor basically once he's with a person that's going to tell him to put his phone back in his pocket.
So he can continue as a doctor once he's been supervised by a doctor.
Or a nurse. A very highly skilled nurse.
Makes perfect sense.
Other conditions kind of instruct him to remove all of the material that he like put online, which also includes his TikTok account. Now, like, kind of things that he would have on is like he'd talk about weird operations, or he'd just like talk to people about why you shouldn't get a Brazilian butt lift kind of thing, or kind of some horror stories of surgery gone wrong, probably done by him.
Chances are.
Yeah, because one of the things why he came under fire was it was aftermath of an investigation of allegations where one of the people that he was working on, she was getting a facelift, and her chin ended up being all bumpy, and she ended up being in like pain after. And this is one of the videos that made it onto his TikTok. Like he was TikToking while he was doing the surgery, and so like that's one of the things that published, and he obviously wasn't paying attention to like
what
he was doing and fucked up the procedure, or else like did something wrong anyway, because like she wasn't happy with the end result. But like you'd imagine like they'd be super focused, but I listened to the radio and they were talking to like a brain surgeon before, and the brain surgeon was like said that he listens to heavy metal during an operation.
I heard that before, yeah.
Yeah, but like his operation can be sometimes 12 hours long.
Yeah.
And like, okay, you might be like a super fan of heavy metal, but what about the nurse who's also in there trying to concentrate, and she's not into heavy metal at all?
She just has to hand you instruments, so she can just fuck off.
It's a long shift. It's a long shift. Like if you like,
I remember hearing that before, and I seen there was a study done about driving. Apparently, you drive better listening to heavy metal.
Yeah, I've seen loads of different studies on driving in terms of music and what you shouldn't do. If aggressive music makes you drive aggressively, or if calm music actually makes you drive calm. So
yeah,
but I don't know if that necessary. You know that thing when you are driving though. We're getting a little bit off topic here now, but and you're reversing or you're trying to go. You have to get concentrated. You turn down the radio.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why everybody does that. I just need to concentrate a little bit more. Take that down.
Yeah, turn down the radio so I can see better.
Yes, exactly. So I can actually see where I'm going. So like that's why he made our Idiots Awake. So basically, I think I don't know, it just comes in another, and I listen to doctors and surgeons who make like videos on YouTube. I think, but like they generally talk. They're not trying to like. They're not talking while they're operating on a patient. Like,
yeah, they're like talking like after they're.
Yeah,
explaining.
exactly. They're giving like a scientific or a well-educated point of view and putting more credible information out on YouTube instead of just like shite. So like, I do think it's like important that like doctors and nurses and dentists and all these professionals do put material out there, so like people have a reliable source of information. It's just like people can't tell the difference what a reliable source of information is. It's a problem with society today. They'll listen to MMA commentator over like, you know, a respected doctor.
Yeah.
Which is like they're even
Frank down the road is on benefit.
Yeah, exactly. So like I would say like if any doctor or any like medical profession makes TikTok account, will end up on our Idiots Week. But I can't really say that because like I guess if you're doing surgery, you should end up on our Idiots Week anyway. We can be clarified.
Yeah. It's not a good thing to be doing.
No, not a very good thing to be doing. So that leaves us with our final idiot, and it's a HR manager, and she was on a Zoom call. And you imagine we're now 2 years into this, Ken, and people still are fucking up the whole idea of a Zoom call. They still haven't got their head around. People can see you. Your background is as important as your foreground. And yet another related embarrassing story of a person who didn't look behind them before they went on a Zoom call with their boss. Now, this is a girl who generally works in an office. She's a HR manager, and I think she said she couldn't go to work for whatever reason, and was on a Zoom call with her boss. And she was sitting in her bed, and her boyfriend had been over that weekend.
Yeah.
And she didn't look behind her. And there was a very clear sight. They said what is a very distinct pink looking bottle behind her. And it was in fact lube that she hadn't put away before going on the Zoom call. She was about 15 minutes into the meeting with her boss when she realised what was behind her. She didn't want to bring too much attention to it, so she didn't say it and didn't look at it and tried to hope and pray that like her boss wouldn't see it.
Did her boss see it?
He didn't make any reference. If he did, I imagine you'd be too embarrassed to say it. Like if he did see it. So like, I have no idea if he did or didn't see it. But like, I guess one thing you can be a little bit like, I'm sure if he did see it, if he did see it, he probably is going to actually screenshot and show everybody. But if you are on a Zoom call, you're not really paying attention to the background of people. Do you ever look? I do actually look in the background of people's Zooms. So yeah, I was going to say most people are more concentrated on themselves during Zoom calls and what's in their background rather than looking at the person. You spend too much time, I think, when you're on Zoom calls saying, "Oh, what do I look like?" and then instead of like concentrating on the person who you're talking to.
Yeah, I don't spend any time really looking at backgrounds.
No,
I don't really do too many Zoom calls either. I haven't done a Zoom call since we stopped doing the quizzes.
Yeah, exactly. I probably haven't done too many either. But like, surely if you are going like on Zoom call with your boss, you wouldn't do it from your bed. I guess maybe they're quite casual looking. She might be okay. I imagine her old boss was like she more than likely got away with it.
I suppose it would depend where she was living. Like if she's living in a little apartment or something, or if she's sharing with other people, maybe she would do it from her room.
Yeah, I think maybe like she says she doesn't normally do Zoom calls, so I think.
Yeah, that's probably how she got caught out.
Yeah, exactly. She's not up to the situation at hand.
She's not wise to what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess she got caught out. There was another woman who I seen on like a related story who also kind of she ordered a suction vibrator thing. And she kind of forgot about it, and she's like, she was getting like a delivery notification, and I think it got delayed. She missed it a few times, and postman had to keep going back to the house because she kept missing the order. And she got a knock on the door. She was in her nightgown, and on the packaging it said what it was. Like you think like any of these things, like they don't say what they are. They just say like a generic brand name of a thing. So like that was my kind of what do you call it? Idiots of the week.
You'd imagine that the company would be a bit more tactful.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought as well.
Like, well, I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe she was a shitty customer.
Maybe I imagine maybe they do as a kind of a joke. Like, you think your dirty secret safe? They're like, we're going to put it on the thing.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah,
Postman knows.
The last girl we had on this was this happened to her, and she put up online what happened and how mortified her was. But she started getting like off female friends like inquiries about how good the thing was and all this. So she probably sold for the company a good few of them on the back of it. So I was kind of like, well, do you know what? Is it the worst thing in the world if they do? If this thing does like if we put up there and just so happen it ends up online that how dreadful we are, we might sell a few more of these suction thingies.
Yeah,
a bit of viral advertisement. Maybe that's why they do it.
Especially if they weren't able to sell them beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe they don't want the hard retail stores to be closed down, so they're like, we're just going to embarrass people to come into the sex shop so we can keep our stores open. Because people won't do it. The only reason they think buying it online is it'll come in packaging, no one knows what it is. Your dirty little secret safe for them.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, and that's our show for today's. Just shy of an hour long. So, like, a nice short show for our listeners today.
Yeah, it's always a nice short show.
Yeah, exactly. An hour is a nice time limit for a podcast.
Especially a podcast about shite.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want too much of that. So an hour is like probably acceptable level.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll be back next week. Talk to you then.
Good luck.
Shut up and sit down.